So this was not the video I had planned today. I had planned to release a video called 20 stocks to watch in 2018, but then this news about GoPro comes out, so we have to address this and the fact that I got out of the position completely and kind of everything that's going on here. Now, before I even get into anything with the GoPro situation, like I've already seen it in some of the comments of past videos. Like I was just looking at the comments and kind of having fun looking at them and whatnot. And some of the people were like, "Oh, you're an idiot for buying GoPro. I told you you were stupid. You know, you're a bad investor, blah, blah, blah." And I think it's very interesting because I'm like a sharpshooter. I missed with GoPro. I absolutely missed. But there were a lot of other stocks that were on 3 stocks and 4 stocks I'm buying this past year, right? So not even like, let's just talk about since I've been on YouTube, not even talk about, you know, prior to me being on YouTube and all the success I had, right? Do you remember a stock named RH? That was on 3 stocks I'm buying, right? That went up 200% last year. Do you know a company by the name of Wynn Resorts? That went up 80% last year. That was on every single edition. Apple was on it several editions. That one went up 50% last year. Google was on it. That one went up over 35% last year. Michael Kors, we added that one when it was in the 30s. Now that's a stock in the 60s, okay? L Brands, we added that one when it was in the 30s. Now it's around $50 a share. So, you know, yes, can I miss? Absolutely, okay? But it's kind of like, you know, let's say you're at the target range and you're doing shots and you miss the thing, but then you hit all these bullseyes. You can't just look at the one and you say, you missed that one, you suck at shooting. No, if you hit all those bullseye, it doesn't really make sense. So let's just address that first. Now let's talk about this GoPro situation and what happened here. So GoPro, I did a video last week kind of explaining that, you know, a source had leaked information that GoPro was going to be cutting 200 to 300 jobs in the drone division. That division was possibly going to close and whatnot. So sure enough, finally it came out here. GoPro lowered guidance Monday and confirmed that it will lay off at least 250 employees. The company also said it was leaving the drone business, citing future regulation and intense competition. Intense competition, that's what it's always been, GoPro. Ending sales of its Karma drone. Founder CEO Nick Woodman will reduce his cash compensation to $1 for 2018. I think that's too highly paid there. GoPro is committed, he says here, blah, 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 Woodman. GoPro is committed to turning around the business in 2018. Yeah, whatever. You said that last year and the year before. We entered the new year with a strong sell-through and are excited about our hardware and software roadmap. We expect going forward, our roadmap coupled with lower operating expense model will enable GoPro to return to profitability. Yeah, you said that recently, like we were going to have a profitable quarter, and we didn't. You said that many times, and we didn't. GoPro said it expects fourth quarter revenue of $340 million, guys. That is absolutely horrible number. They were supposed to do in the high 4s, okay? And they come in at 340. This is a monumental miss of numbers here and unreal here. So then we got all this drama that comes out here. GoPro hired, so this is an article that comes out of CNBC a couple hours ago. GoPro hired JP Morgan Chase some months back to help it seek a potential sale, basically sell the company out. JP Morgan helped underwrite GoPro's IPO in 2014. No sale is assured, said the people who asked, but not to be named. The discussions are private and GoPro is not actively in talks with a buyer. It's unclear if there's any interested acquirer for the company. GoPro declined to comment. Then all of a sudden, about a half hour ago or so, this article comes out, and this one says GoPro founder and CEO Nick Woodman told Bloomberg Technology that he, quote, I can confirm that JP Morgan is in fact our banker, but we have not engaged them to help us sell the company? What are you talking about, Woodman? He said that GoPro was potentially interested in selling, but not actively searching for a buyer. If there were an opportunity for GoPro to partner up with a larger organization that could help us scale the company, he said, that's certainly something we would consider. Woodman, what are you doing, man? Like, I literally don't understand this. You have JP Morgan here, and they're supposed to be selling your company, but you're not selling and you're not actively looking for a buyer. Like, what are you talking about, Woodman? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're selling the company, say you're selling the company. This is like you have a house, okay? You have a house, and you say you bring in a realtor, and you're like, hey, listen, if you can get my house sold, you know, you're gonna get a huge commission on this. But you know, I don't want you to actively sell the house. What? Like either sell the house or don't sell the house. So what do you think JP Morgan's doing behind the scenes? If JP Morgan is GoPro's banker, okay, and GoPro is somewhat interested in selling, but they're not actively seeking a buyer, what do you think what do you think JP Morgan's doing behind the scenes? They're probably talking to every tech company and private equity fund out there about trying to sell GoPro. They want to make that huge commission check on that. We're talking about a company like GoPro, even though it's a relatively smaller company. JP Morgan probably going to make $10 million to $50 million if the company was to get sold. You think the bankers over there are not going to try to get this company sold? Of course they're going to try to get it sold. But it's just typical Woodman being Woodman here with, oh, we're not selling the company, but JP Morgan's our banker, and if we found another company to get in with, like come on, just say you're selling yourself, or say no, we're not looking for somebody. Don't be like, well, maybe we're trying to sell. That's just weak sauce. So as far as me, and as far as what I go with GoPro, I sold out of everything, and it is such a good feeling. It is such a good feeling. I already realized the loss. I already understood I was going to take my losses on this one, but it is such a good feeling just to get out of this one. It's like a new day. You ever seen that Julia Roberts movie? Oh man, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Sleeping with the Enemy, I think, and she's like in an abusive relationship, and the guy hits her all the time and is like super controlling, and she tries to run away, and he has like somebody go find her and all this. I feel like how she felt in that movie when you just get out of something and you feel so good, like it's a new day, and that's how I feel with GoPro. I've been in an abusive relationship with this company and they've abused me bad, and it feels so good to get out. So now it's going to be very interesting because I have a lot of freed up money, and what am I going to do with this? And a lot of people were wondering how big is the loss I took on this company? How big is the loss I took on GoPro? And unfortunately, it's not nearly as big as I think some people think. The reason being is, yes, I started buying this company in the 13s, right? But the thing you got to understand about my investing philosophy, whenever I first buy shares in a company, I buy a very small stake, okay? And then I start getting bigger and bigger. And so I bought a lot of shares at GoPro in the 11s, 9s, 8s, 7s. But the issue with that is, like anything that was bought in the 7s and 8s, am I taking a loss on that? Yeah, but it's not like that big of a loss. The only ones that are down massively are the 13s and some of the ones I bought in the 11s and whatnot, some of the contracts I bought around there. But at the same time, it's not nearly as big of a loss as I think some people are thinking it might be, just because of where I started buying those shares at. And it's one of those things that it protects me in my investment philosophy, that not only, in case a situation like this happens, this is what I always try to prevent from a situation like this happening. But this is why I do it, guys, because if I went in super heavy right off the bat in the 13s, then it would have been a ridiculous loss on this one, instead of just, a loss that hurts me very bad. But it's not as big a number as you might think. Maybe someday I'll share that number, but it's definitely not as big as some people think, and I think when a lot of people hear the number, it's not as epic as it seems. So should be interesting. What am I going to do with all this new money? Like where should I put it? That's my biggest question. What company should I put it in next, guys? So that's kind of what I'm thinking about now. Anyways, the market's closed. I sold out everything, so we shall see what happens. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.